right, I'm sharing my video now. I'm still admitting a few people that are joining. But yeah, anyway, I'll just do a quick intro as more people start joining and I let them in. My name is Alvaro Alvarez. I work at the Orbach Library. I'm the innovative media librarian here at the university. So my role is I work closely with our Makerspace, and I work as a backup to the supervisor, but also I work with faculty, students, staff with reference questions, consultations on projects, outreach, and also the programming around the Makerspace. Let's see, letting a few more people in. Yeah, and at the end of the workshop, I'll share my contact information too. So if you're working on something, always feel free to email me. You're also welcome to come to the Makerspace. We're open Monday through Friday, 12 to 4. Right now we have limited hours though, because we are currently in search for a new supervisor for the space, and it's only me. So I'm doing both jobs, and we don't have any student workers, unfortunately, right now. So I try to keep it open. So like, for example, right now I closed the Makerspace while I do the workshop. So I wouldn't be able to do both. But yeah, feel free. If it's open, you might see myself in there, one of our student workers, and we'd be happy to answer any questions, help you with projects, anything you're working with. The Makerspace has a lot of different things too, a lot of different tools, and some of them are like sewing machines. We have 3D printing, a laser cutter, CNC machine. We have the Creat'R that work with, they cut out paper. So it's more arts and crafts. We have a multimedia computer with Adobe, all the software that you need to do video editing, create music. We have, yeah, quite a few things in there. So might be forgetting a lot of them. But yeah, I think we should be good to go. A lot of people joined. At the beginning, I added the file I'll be using today in the chat. So if you scroll up, it should be called zeldashield.jpg. You don't have to use this file. I mean, it's just the one I'm going to be using. You can use all the concepts that I'm going to be showing you today with prepping your file with anything you want to do. And let me show you some examples so you have an idea of some of the stuff I've made. So let me see if you could see the shield. Let me take my background off. Oh, okay, there you go. So hopefully you can now see. Let me close this. So yeah, here's what I'm going to be showing you how to make today. So I made this using the laser cutter. So I'll be showing you how to prep the file, the SVG file, and I'll also show you a quick video in the beginning just to show you how the laser cutting works. So once I cut out all my parts with, I just had a plywood left over, so I did it on that. You can kind of see, I just bought the little clock mechanism at Michael's for like $5, and I added it to it. It doesn't have a battery right now, so it doesn't work, but once I add the battery, I can put it on my wall. Here's just some other stuff I've made, or things you can do. I made a little magnet for my fridge. So as you can see, I used an image of a Pikachu. I used the concepts that I'm going to show you today to outline it and engrave it and cut it. And then if you buy coasters, like if you're out shopping at Ross or Michael's, Hobby Lobby, you could buy coasters and engrave them. So you could kind of see I engraved it from one of the cartoons, the animes that I watch. And then you can also do mirrors. So you could kind of see, it's kind of hard. I engraved it in the back and you could kind of see it in the front. So that's something else you can do too with laser cutting. Okay, so let me stop my video. I'm going to share my screen now. Let's see. Okay, let me just get the chat windows and stuff ready in case I get more people coming in. Okay, so hopefully everyone could see my screen. I'll play this video. This is just gonna kind of show you like an example of how a laser cutter would work. So pretty much it's just a process of removing material from like a piece of wood, acrylic plastic. Um, Also, like I've seen people use it on cardboard and fabric. So yeah, you get a clean cutout, or you can actually engrave all that stuff too. I've engraved the wallet. I had a wallet and I engraved like a picture on that too. So you could do engravings or cuts. So
this is how quickly you get from the graphics to the finished workpiece.
oh, sorry, there's an ad.
You first need an idea, which will determine the desired cutting geometry.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, our print, not printer, but our laser cutter right now. The service is down for maybe for the next month or so while we figure out some of the air quality issues in the room. But once we have that figured out, you'll be free to come in and use it anytime. And you just need to bring your own material like wood or acrylic. We have some pieces in the Creat'R Lab just laying there, but that people leave when they finish their project. They might have stuff left over, so you could be free to use that too. Let's see. Sorry, yeah, this thing is still like playing. That's how I didn't skip.
It looks like this. If the laser impinges the material with low power, only one layer is removed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, it is playing.
We explain how to laser cut non-metals, such as acrylic or wood.
Yeah, so you can see in this how it's just cutting a piece of acrylic.
Laser cutting is a thermal separation method in which many different materials can be cut efficiently, quickly, and precisely.
Oh, and I saw a question. Our laser cutter is a Dremel. It's from Dremel. I think they discontinued it, so or they might have a newer model now, but yeah, it's from them. Yeah, so yeah, you could kind of see in that video how the laser just goes through the material based on the image that you import into it. So let me see. Let me zoom in. So I'm using Inkscape for these purposes. So with Inkscape, it's a free open source software. The reason I'm showing you this one just because it's free. You could use Adobe Illustrator too for SVG files, but I mean you have to have the subscription for that. We do have Adobe in our Creat'R Lab too, so if you ever want to use that, you could come in and use that as well. But I mean, this one gets the job done. It's very simple. It's nothing complicated that you have to do. Let me see. So yeah, hopefully everyone could see the image. So I'm gonna get started. So I just imported it by going to File, Import, and then you just look for it on your computer. You can Google search anything. Like if you wanted to do a Pikachu instead of this, you can just Google search that, save the image on your desktop, and then just go from there. Like I said, the concepts that I'm going to show you today, yeah, you can apply it to any image so that you can laser cut it or engrave it. So yeah, so I'm just going to get started. So we're going to be just using a couple things here. So we're going to do this one, the Bezier curves. So I'm going to click on this guy. This one's just going to allow me to add dots around the image and then kind of give it curves so that these lines are actually going to be what the laser cutting software uses to see where it's going to cut. And it's very precise too. You don't have to worry about the scaling too much. I mean, you could scale it before you send it to the laser cutter, but in the laser cutter, it does, our particular model takes pictures of the bed with your piece of wood or whatever material you're trying to use. So it'll allow you to kind of place the image above it in the software, and then you can scale it and manipulate that. So it's really useful. That way you know exactly where it's going to start and end. So let me see. And I have worked with laser cutters that don't do that, and you have to, it's really hard. You have to either do it by eye or they'll have like a little laser, and it's not that accurate all the time. So this one is pretty accurate. But anyway, again, I'm using this one, this tool, the Bezier curves. So I'm gonna start on this corner. So I'm just gonna left click and then start adding points around the image. Every time I want to add one, I left click. So I left click there. I'm just going to each corner because essentially I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be able to move the points and make the curves to make it a cleaner looking. So so yeah, I'll just go around it. And so I have my first one, and you see that it's a black line. So I'm going to right click on this. This is just my personal preference. You don't have to do this. I just like the brighter colors just so I could see the line a little better. So I'm gonna do fill and stroke. And then I go to stroke paint over on the top, and then I usually use red. But I mean, you could use yellow, any color that you would like to just to be able to see your what you're drawing a little better. Let me see. GIMP, no, because I don't think GIMP allows you to work with vector lines. So, and yeah, you do need that. If you want, you need to save it as an SVG file in order to do cuts. GIMP you could use if you were just going to engrave. And I think I see another question. The thickness, I think we could go up to 1/4 inch on ours, I believe. And materials, we only allow acrylic and wood here. All right, hopefully I answered some of the questions, but yeah, let me continue. So now you saw that I drew the line. So I could use this tool up here now to the edit path nodes. So this one will allow me to left click anywhere on that red line, and then I could kind of give it a curve. I can move the points that I added to. You can see if I think I need to move it to the left a little bit. Then I could just go around and start giving it the curves so it lines up with my image. Yeah, so you can kind of see now. So that way when I send it to the laser cutter, it's going to be pretty precise. So I just highlighted the shield. So that's one cut that I'm going to do. The main one pretty much when I'm going to glue everything else on it. So I'm going to go back to this tool. And I'm going to just go over the inside now really quick to show you. So yeah, I could do the outline of this. So I'm just left clicking as I go, adding like the dots at the corners. And the more you do this, the better you'll get. And you'll know where you can add them. I mean, you can add multiple dots, but this is a fairly simple image. So I'm just doing this like at the corners mainly. And I'm going a little fast. I'm not zooming in. Usually I'll zoom in just to get a better view. And I'll take my time a little more, but I mean, for this one, I think, yeah, we'd be okay. Like, you don't have to worry too much about being precise, but let's see. So I'm just going all the way around. And let's see. So I make sure it connects, and I'm gonna make it red. So yeah, you could see now I could do the same process again. I could go in and left click on the line and make the curves wherever I need it and move the points. Oops. Yeah, I can move that around. There you go. So I'm kind of happy with that. So now the inside part, we could see that we have a lot of common like shapes. So you don't have to like do each one individually. Like you could just do like this one, copy paste it and then flip it so that you have this one. But I mean, that's up to you. If you want to get more practice doing it, you could just do each one individually. So yeah, let me get started with the triangle. So I'll show you. So I'm just gonna, these are pretty simple. So yeah, so yeah, you see, then I'll turn it red. Then I could do this one. I'll zoom in a little bit. Let's see. Oops. and turn it red. So yeah, you see I have two of the triangles. But like I mentioned before, if I'm just gonna zoom out, and to zoom out, I'm just using control. I'm holding control on my keyboard, and I have a mouse with the scroll wheel, so I'm just going forward and back to zoom in and out. So you see, if you need to zoom in, you can do that. So yeah, like I mentioned, you can copy paste. So I'll just use this, select the triangle that I want to make a copy of. You could do this, edit and do copy, edit, paste, or you could use the shortcut, which is pretty much Control C, Control V. So I'll do a paste. So you see now I have it over here. So I would need two more triangles so I can do another paste and get the second one. Yeah, so that's just a shortcut so that you don't have to do these. I mean, they're not complicated, but if you had like a complicated one like this and you don't want to spend too much time doing the other one and you want an exact copy, you can just do that, copy and paste them. So yeah, let me show you an example of how I would do that and flip it so you can kind of see how you would do that maybe for the wings and this part. Let me zoom in a little bit. So I'll do this one over here. So I'll just go back to my tool. So I'll add the dots, go around it. Oops. Oh yeah, that's one thing too that you have to hover over the, yeah, and make sure that it let me zoom in. I can't see if I am or not. There you go. Yeah, so if you don't hover over the start, the first dot you add, it'll just continue. So you have to kind of hover over it and then it'll close the loop. And then let me just get the color so I could see it. So yeah, now I'm going to again use that same technique where I just come in and left click with this tool with the edit paths tool. So I'm just going to start kind of making some corrections to some of the stuff. Let's see. Yeah, and then depending on the image, yeah, this could be a little time consuming too, but this was not too bad. So yeah, so I'll just go around, make sure it's close to the image as possible. Put some curves. I was a little off with this one. Adjust that one. Bring this one in a little bit. And I'm almost done. A few more. Yeah, I was really off on this one. Yeah. Oh, one more. And this one's kind of out there. Okay. All right, let me zoom out. Yeah, that looks good. So since I have it highlighted right now, I can just do the copy, edit, go to edit, copy, edit, paste, and then you'll have the other one. So to flip it, there's a shortcut on the keyboard. You just hit H. If you want to do it the old way, you just go over here and you flip it. So you flip it either horizontally or vertically, however you want. For this one, I did H, so horizontally. So yeah, that's like a shorter way to kind of like if you have a complex part, then it's this, yeah, multiple of them. You just have to do one, copy, paste it, and flip it, or do whatever you need to do. with the options that you have here. For this one, I just had to flip it, so that wasn't too bad. But yeah, so let me delete the, just so you can see what I have. I'm not gonna do this one, just because I kind of showed you everything pretty much with these. But yeah, again, for like the wing, you would do the exact same thing I just did with this. Like I would do this wing and then just copy paste it, flip it. And then for this one too, for the leg, I would do that too. I would highlight it, copy paste it, then flip it. And then just do these really quickly and you'd be done with this. I think for me, I didn't do the circles for this, but I did add a circle for the clock part. So for that, I just went over here to this one, to the circle tool. And then I just came over here and I drew the circle so that I can put in that piece. And then you can kind of move it around if you need to. You could use the arrows on your keyboard. That is more precise movements, or you could use your mouse and move it around. So that would make the cut so that if I wanted to make this into a clock, I can put the clock part in the middle. Let's see. I see a question. Copyright concerns, like not if you're gonna do it for your own personal, like if you're just gonna put it in your house. I would be more concerned if you were trying to like sell, but I have seen people on Etsy sell these, like, and they haven't gotten in trouble, so I don't see why you would. Yeah, if you go to Etsy, you'll see a lot of examples of stuff laser cut, and you could get ideas on projects. So you'll see a lot of these clocks there. That's where I got the idea on how to make my own. I didn't want to pay like $30-$40 for one, so I just went to Home Depot, got some wood for like $15, and I made multiple clocks. So I made like 3, and then I used the rest of the wood for other projects. So, oh yeah, so next I was just gonna delete the image, or I can just move it so you can kind of see. So now we have all the stuff we're gonna cut out in the laser cutter. So I would just move these inside and position them wherever you want. I would probably do this. I would position all these like outside. That way, when it does cut, you'll have the back piece for your clock, and then you'll have all these little parts done separately on the outside. And then that way you can just glue it on top when you're ready. Oh yeah, I did give an example of a mirror. Sorry, I saw that question. Yeah, for mirrors, I just bought a mirror at Michael's. And then it has like a coating in the back. So I was able to just engrave the back. It just like removed the coating and created the image on the reverse side. So for that, you would have to reverse your image if it's like a Pikachu or something and you want it to look exactly the same. But yeah, that's fairly easy to do too. It's not, and then you can actually paint the mirror in the back and the color would show up in the front. I did that with a Venom. I did like a mirror with Venom and painted the back black, and it looks really nice. I don't have it with me, but yeah, if you ever want to stop by the Creat'R Lab, I might bring it in and just have it in my office and I can show you guys, or maybe next workshop I can show you as well. I'll remember to bring it. But yeah, so once you have all your stuff ready to go, you would just have to save this as an SVG file, and then you would just go save as, I think, and then should give you SVG. Name it, and then you would just bring this file over to us. We would load it to the software for the Dremel laser cutter, and then from there it's just pretty simple. I mean, it's just moving the image to where we want to position it on your material, and then just press print, and then it'll do its thing and cut. With the Dremel, you don't have to worry about like the temperature settings or any of that. It has options where you select like the type of material you're using, so it'll adjust the temperature and speeds, the thickness of your material, so that it'll know it needs to do a deeper cut, so it would probably slow down and higher temperature for some of the, depending on the material. And yeah, the cut versus engrave, that's the option there too. So once I load the image, if it's an SVG file, it'll give you the option to cut or engrave. If it's just like a PNG file or JPEG, it won't give you the option to cut, because it won't have any data to go off of. So you would just be able to engrave on our software. So yeah, that's why you would do this. Create the SVG file, and then you have the JPEG already, so you could use this if you really wanted to engrave. So I mean, you could engrave and then cut, depending on what you're trying to do. So like the Pikachu I made, I engraved first, and then I outlined the Pikachu. So I just pretty much made this line, and then I just used that file to cut right after it engraves. So, and then I just added like a magnet in the back so I could put it on my fridge. But yeah, Instructables is another good site where you can kind of get ideas on how to make certain things. I made a laptop stand with acrylic, and they had the file there. They shared it with me, so I didn't have to like create it from scratch. So that's the beauty of it. Some people do share their SVG files. So if you find something, it's instructables.com. They often have a lot of people share projects there. It's like a good website for if you're trying to learn anything. Let me see. Yeah, so I don't know if there's any questions. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. So yeah, like if you want to work on something, just Google search the image, go through the process I just showed you, and you should have a file. And if you have any questions, just email me too. Let me type in my email. It's just my first dot last name at ucr.edu. And then, yeah, we can also help you with the file too if you come in. Oh, I see how we have another question. I think the bed is 24 by 12, I believe. It's around that dimension. Oh, we just have some coming. But yeah, I mean, it's not too big of a laser cutter, but it's a good size. I have seen bigger laser cutters where you can actually like make furniture, like that'll cut like large pieces of wood. You can make like a table and like chairs and all that. We don't have that here, unfortunately, but there are other maker spaces that might like around the area. I know Ontario Library had a big, a large laser cutter that could probably do all that. They're I think they use the Boss. That's the brand of the laser cutter, and it's a really big. So you could put like giant pieces of wood. I think they created their sign for their entrance to like a large acrylic sign, and they added LED lights using that laser cutter. And I think it's free to use there too. You just have to get a library card. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these resources are free, so take advantage of that. I'm always here to help you, students too. Yeah, and I guess one other thing I was going to do was share the link to the website. Let me see. So yeah, this workshop will be posted on our YouTube. Let me put that on there. Yeah. So here's the library YouTube channel. So maybe give it about a week and this workshop will be posted there if you want to go over it again, if you're trying to learn it. But yeah, anyway, let me see. Yeah, let's see if I missed any questions. I think I got them all. All righty, guys. So yeah, thank you for joining me today, and hopefully I'll see you in some more of our workshops in the fall. Keep an eye out for them. We will post about that soon as we finalize them. Yeah, and thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And feel free to email me, check out some of our older workshops too. Yeah, so yeah, thank you everyone. Have a good rest of your afternoon. Oh yeah, you're welcome everyone. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new today.